on your free kick with the X17.1s? Nah, Tom McGowan. Not bad. How's it going, guys? Tom from the Full Boots team, and today we're taking a look at the brand new X17.1 boots. Now, they are Bale's boot of choice, and has he made the right decision? Let's find out. So these are the X17.1s, which come with the exposed lacing system. Now they're almost identical to the Pure Chaos, which comes with the Pure Cut cover for anybody who prefers that. So in terms of fit, the X17.1 are normal to narrow fit. I have reasonably wide feet, which makes them quite snug around that midfoot, but wide-footed players, you can probably get away with it. So in terms of fit, I would go true to size on these boots. Even though I have relatively wide feet, there is no need to actually go half a size up. So it is a reasonably thick synthetic upper on the X17.1. There is no more slash graphic, which we have seen in previous models. It now has a rough dotted texture, which we will get into later. So I've mentioned how the synthetic upper is quite thick, but it's not actually the upper itself, it's more the internal lining, which is quite cushioned. So the X17.1s were released in the Dust Storm pack. They have a black, white and teal colorway with the dotted design creating almost a blurred visual. Personally, the design is not for me, but I feel like they might be quite popular. So the biggest difference between the 17 and the 16 is obviously the absence of the slash graphic. Now that has been replaced with an all over rough sort of texture, which is actually Adidas' newest NSG. So the new NSG is what Adidas say is the biggest change on the new X model. So in terms of silhouette, nothing has changed from the 16 to the 17, both still feature that tech fit collar. So the tech fit collar raises higher at the top of the foot and also at the heel, and it creates an added bit of lockdown. So we've talked about how the tech fit collar is the exact same, and let's flip over and look at something else which is the exact same, the sole plate. Now it is that sprint frame technology with those teardrop studs. So the teardrop studs are a combination of conical and bladed studs, which is very versatile for both firm ground and 3G pitches. So I've just slipped the boots on feet now, and I'm getting a little bit of a feel for the ball and how they feel. And that synthetic upper is really quite cushioned, which I quite like. And also a little bit of grip coming from that NSG. I'm not sure if it's just me thinking about it or if it's actually working. Rightio, so this is just me getting a feel for the boot, striking the ball for the first time. And you do feel that the upper is quite cushioned, and as a person who loves leather boots, it is quite something for me to say that I find a synthetic boot comfortable. But these honestly are not too bad. So I've just had about 5-10 strikes on some balls, getting used to the boots on my feet. Personally, I haven't really noticed that NSG, so I haven't really noticed the grip. And the upper's alright, it's really cushioned, but for me as a leather purist, they don't really compare. Okay, so just finished a couple of rounds of shooting, and as you can see, the boots are already starting to crease up pretty bad, and this just means that they're going to lose their shape and structure over time, which isn't a good thing. So just when I'm striking the ball, I'm feeling like the boots aren't really giving me much. There's no ping, no pop off the boot itself, and when I think about a boot that does do that, the Hyper Venom 3 springs to mind, and these just aren't quite up there for me. So there it is, X17.1 test and review done and dusted. Me personally, I'm a leather man, so these aren't quite for me, but they're the newest speed boot out there on the market, and they're versing the Vapor 11. And personally, I don't think they're quite there yet. They're close, don't get me wrong, they're a decent boot, but the Vapor 11 is still best out there on the market.
Does it actually just have holes in it? I wish I had my phone right now. Does it just have how much they cost?
About $300 probably.
Oh, I can see what does it literally just have holes in it?
No, so there's no holes. Have a look, have a feel. So it's got dots on it because for this release, which is an update to.
Wow, look at the bottom.
So these are called the X16.1, and these are called the X17.1. So these are new ones. You're not going to see these worn by players until FA Cup final, or maybe not even till the Champions League final. So they wait till like big occasions or big events to reveal them, but they want to give them into players to wear them in training and stuff. So sometimes you see pictures of players wearing them, because like a boot like this, the upper on it's quite stiff. But if you wear it a few times, it will soften up a bit. So players want to get used to them to test them, see what they think.
Is it waterproof?
It is waterproof, yep. So these little dots on the top is this thing that Adidas are calling NSG, like non-stop grip. And they're trying to kind of show off this extra little patterning here. To be honest, it doesn't really do that much, but they've done a good job of making it look like it does something. But so this is the new one and this is the old one. All right?
That one definitely. A big change.
So we've just tested the X17.1 down the pitch, but now we're back in the office to put it on the boot wall. Is it a drop, is it a cop, a super cop, or a double drop? Whereabouts do you think it should go on our wall?
Compared to the X16.1, I don't think it's that much better. I think it's slightly better. What do you think? Where do you think it should be?
I agree with you. When I'm looking at this board, I still don't think it's as good as the X16.1 leather. I don't think it's as good as any of the Messi 16s, the clutch fits, and I don't think it's as good as the Legend 6. So I think what we can do is move that one down a little bit so it goes near to the 16.1, but a smidgen ahead of it. Is that about fair?
Yeah.
Radio, time to sign the video off. Got to be done by hitting the top button. That's us. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.